Hi, I'm Em, an avid wargamer who runs social media accounts focused on promoting women in wargaming and creating inclusion-positive community. As well as running women in wargaming events, I wanted to create a series focusing on the variety, creativity and skill of women in our hobby. So join me across this series as we explore the passion and joy women have for our hobby. Liv is a Northern Irish voice actor who has featured in works such as Rogue Trader, Inanimate Insanity, Atlas and Stars, and Game of Thrones King's Road. Liv has an incredible vocal range, and her capability to bring life and emotions to her characters is second to none, as we discover in today's episode. Hi Liv, and welcome to your episode of the Women in Wargaming series. How are you today?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
Yes, I'm not too bad. Thank you. So let's get into it. So how did you start your wargaming journey?
So I've always kind of been a fan of the lore in Warhammer, especially surrounding characters like the orcs and the Tyranids, simply for the hilarity around the orcs. I don't think that there's anybody that genuinely can hate the orc lore.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it's always had that eldritch horror aspect of it, which I absolutely love, which is why I love the Tyranids as well. But just yeah, I've always just come back to it's either all or nothing. It's either all comedy or all horror when it comes to like that. And yeah, I've been a fan of it for quite a few years. I've never actually done the tabletop side of it.
Yeah.
I would love to someday. I would love to get the time to do it someday.
Yes.
Some of the art and things that people put together is just insane.
Incredible. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. I have like I was saying to you before, I have the grey pile of shame, which I will get to eventually.
Every hobbyist has that though. You call it the grey pile of shame, but reality is we're all secret hoarders and we all have these huge stacks of models. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like collecting, figurines and things like that. I'm not going to take it out of the box. It has to stay in the box. It's got to stay in the pile.
It's in mint condition, and if I start slapping super glue all over it, it's not going to stay in mint condition. So.
Exactly. I'm going to pass this down to my kids one day,
Exactly. Here is your heritage, 8th edition Space Marine that nobody wants, that sells for £2 on eBay, but it was mine, and that's all that matters. So.
Exactly, and it's still in the box.
Therefore, you get £2.50 for it. So.
Exactly.
So which game systems have you principally been drawn to? Is it Warhammer, or is it anything wider than that?
It's mainly Warhammer, just because of my connection to it. I did know about Warhammer beforehand.
Yeah.
Primarily from a friend of mine, TJ Anthony, who does orc song covers.
Yes, I love them. I see them pop up on social media every so often, and they're so funny.
Great. I've been in a few of them as well. I've been lucky enough that he's brought me in to sing along with him, and that was kind of what got me into the orcs. And then just from there, sort of reading some of the books, reading just the lore, watching the YouTube videos and breakdowns and things like that, listening to some of the audiobooks, that kind of just spiraled from that. But that kind of that's just what got me into it.
Yeah, and we'll get onto your work in a minute because it's absolutely fascinating. But I'm sure you love the Gazgul cracker kind of voice and things like that. Yeah, I can imagine.
What are the boys?
Yes, exactly.
We're gonna have a good war.
Oh my god. I love that so much. That's so good. So yes, for those that don't know, I'm just going to skip forward because we can't now. So Liv is a voice actor, and she was in the Rogue Trader game as Ulfar, a space wolf. That should be correct. As I have briefly played the game, so I do know a little bit about it. I didn't get very far through it, but yes, I have briefly played the game. But that's mostly because I was playing it on my brother's console and I'm not living at home anymore.
Oh.
Yes. But yes, so let's get into that. So voice acting. How did you end up in the Warhammer world, like universe of voice acting?
So it like I'm an indie voice actor. I would say I'm indie. I'm a remote voice actor. So it's primarily done through things like agencies or rosters and things like that. One day, one of the rosters that I'm a part of sent me an audition. I got, I got, I think it was for every male character on the roster or on the cast list. And yeah, I sent them all off. I got a call back maybe like a month later saying that I'd gotten the role and I'd also been cast as like the Necron as well. And I mean, that was just, it was amazing. Like, I remember I woke up to the email and near fell out of bed going, so yeah, it was an incredible feeling.
I can imagine. And particularly as you sort of had a glancing sort of experience with Warhammer at that point as well. So you had more context of like how big it was going to be and sort of the lore around 40K and
Yeah.
Warhammer in general. That's really cool.
I had to sit in the recording sessions with the dev team from Oilcat and just pretend that I knew nothing, because they would, give me exposition and give me like lore and stories. I'd be sitting there going,
yes, I've never heard of what
oh,
is a
that's
space marine. Yes,
exactly. Oh, that's very interesting. Yes, transhumans. I know. I'm fully aware. Don't you? I already know.
Gene seed, giant chainsaws for the Emperor. No, I don't know anything.
For the Emperor.
Oh, I love this so much. So Ulfar, for the people that haven't played Rogue Trader, tell us a little bit about your character, and then we'll get onto the Necron as well. So yes,
fair enough. Ulfar Redmane of the Space Wolves. So he is he's a space wolf. He's found in the 3rd chapter of Rogue Trader. You find him whenever you go to Kimura. The game's been out for 2 years. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But he is basically a warrior poet. His whole thing is that he keeps the sagas of like his brothers in arms and stories and things like that. But he is. I don't know how much I want to spoil here. Stop listening if you don't want spoilers. He's kind of, in a sense, cursed. He can never die in battle.
Right. Space
which for a space Viking is kind of the whole point. So yeah, like he has survived wounds that would end other space marines and the like, and I believe I'm not gonna spoil one of the endings. It's fine, but yeah, he so his backstory is kind of rather tragic because he has watched everybody from his pack die around him.
Yeah.
And so he joins the Rogue Trader in the hopes to avenge his fallen comrades.
Yeah.
And as well get revenge on the man that basically caused it, which was a member of the Inquisition, because we all love the Inquisition. Everybody loves the Inquisition.
There's nothing wrong with the Inquisition in any way.
No.
Well, no.
But yeah, that's him, and like he has a love for battle to the point where he will sing sagas during fights.
Nice.
And I've had people DM me going, can you just record this as a saga and send it to me? Can you just record this as a song and just send it to me?
You should do a cameo in your friend and TJ Anthony's orc songs.
Give it a go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you said that you'd been part of that, but as Ulfar, that would be great. That would be really funny. And then the other character that you play, tell us a little bit about him.
I play a few characters, so I play a few background characters. Mm-hmm. So I play the Gene Stealer cultists and the Gene Stealer aberrations, I think they're called.
Yeah.
It's like the big guys, like 3 arms and a hammer. And so they were all sort of like creature voices. So like the Gene Stealers, what voice did we do for them? It was like, sort of like down here, because they had something growling in their throats. And then for the aberrations, they were all the way down here. But the best lines that we recorded were for the Necron. And the reason that they were the best lines was because, well, one, they weren't spoken dialogue. The Necrons don't talk. All I did was effort sounds for them. But I was in a call with the guys from Oilcat, and I was like, right, okay, so this next line, all you're doing is you're matching the video, which is like a breathing cycle. So it was one of the Necron warriors standing there with a gun, and he's breathing in and out, his shoulders are going up and down. And I went, yeah, so you're just gonna go along with that and do some breath sounds. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's record. And I went, question, how exactly does an undead space robot breathe? And they went,
It's a very valid question.
that's a good question. Let's find out. So we ended up doing something along the lines of like that.
Yeah.
And then for the Scorpeth destroyers, I think they're called, we even added in some like laughs and things, which I don't think the Necrons would do, but it worked so well because there's like an idle scene where he like runs his claw against the top of his blade, and I just did like a voice for it. I loved it so much.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can see a Necron being particularly sinister. The fact that they just lock people in tombs and tesseracts and just walk away for hundreds of years. So,
Yeah.
sort of sinister stroking of the gun. I think that works really nicely. I loved that. Which was your favourite character to play, like to voice act out of all of those characters?
I mean, Ulfar was so much fun, you know. The amount of emotion range for him, obviously, with the Rogue Trader game being a choose your own adventure style, different paths, different endings. You know, you can make the characters love you can make the characters hate you. On that note, every time I speak to Oilcat, I'm like, when are we getting a romance option for Ulfar? The people want it, everyone wants it, and they keep shooting me down. But I will keep trying. I promise I will keep trying. But yeah, he goes from 0 to 100 instantly in almost every scenario where like he's joking. Okay, it's a fight to the death. Or like he's sad. No, he's consuming an alien. You know, he's just eating them. So it was just jumping from different emotions constantly with him was so much fun. And he gets over the top so quick. Like the battle cries that we were doing, you know, charging in with an axe, things like that. It was just, you know, it was how many hours? I think it ended up being like 16 total hours of recording for him. And yeah, the majority of it was yelling, which I love doing. And, you know, it's so, you know, such a relief to just stand in the booth and scream for hours on it.
Hopefully the microphones will pick this up if I ask this, but give us your best Ulfar cry. Like, give us the best one that you can do.
Okay, I can probably, let me turn this down a wee bit.
Perfect. I got all of that. That's incredible. I'm loving this episode. This is so good. Okay, so in terms of other work that you've done, so what other works have you been involved in? Like, I'm sure everyone's going to be fascinated to hear about.
Okay. I could bring up my resume because I always blank at this bit. But I'm known for voicing Orcain in Rivals 2.
Yep.
So he's like a little panther whale, orca whale. And yeah, all of that was like creature voices, and it was all uvula trills, so it was all things like so I'm known for that. I'm known for voicing in indie animations like of Atlas in the Stars. I voice Atmosphere in that. It was this sort of blue fish alien. And yeah, he's got quite a nice following. Everybody seems to love him. And I also voice Knife and Toilet in Inanimate Insanity, if you've ever heard of that. It's like a object show on YouTube. And yeah, so I voice Knife and I voice Toilet as well. Two completely contrasting characters for that.
I could just listen to you do voice acting all day. Like, your range of vocals is just absolutely incredible, Liv. So how did you end
Thank
up
you very much.
becoming a voice actor? Like, what? How did you get into that?
So I've always sort of been an actor. Like whenever I was younger, I was always in plays. I did, you know, TV stuff. I did a bit of modeling for a garden center where I dressed up as a tomato. You know, I've always been a star, darling. I've always been a star. But for this, it was I did. Well, I work for a production lighting and audio company, so I already had a background in audio. I knew how to build a space that was treated. You know, we've decked out studios and things like that. I knew how the equipment worked. I knew how the microphone worked, the interface, you know, the cabling, all that. And then I think for the same sort of thing that happened with a lot of people, COVID happened.
Yes.
And I was sitting in my house, bored out of my mind one day, and I was just like, I'm gonna put a microphone in my cupboard and start voice acting. So that's exactly what I did. And yeah, it's been going consistently since 2001.
Wow.
2021. Jesus, 2001. Yeah. Do you know what? It feels like it's been 2021 or 2001 since COVID.
I know. Tell me about it. I got married just before COVID, and I honestly feel like I've been married for about 98 years at this point, whereas in actual fact it's only been 6. So, you know, so COVID definitely distorted time for a lot of people, that's for sure. So with the characters that you voiced in Rogue Trader, obviously we spoke about some of the sort of sound effects and things like that, but with Ulfar, where you had more dialogue, what was some of your favorite like phrases that they got you to say, or some of your favorite dialogue?
We did a playthrough of it once on the Oilcat YouTube channel, and I moved the character once in that whole thing, and I forgot I had recorded this voice line where if you just move Ulfar, as soon as he gets to the position, he just goes, "I've come," and that was it. It sent everybody into wrinkles. Personally, though, again, there was a lot of battle cries. There was a lot of shouting. There was a lot of, like, you know, him turning to the Rogue Trader and laughing, and then, like, you know, giving like a speech and things. But there was one where I think the Rogue Trader betrays you, or does something along the lines of, like, part of your quest line, or part of the quest line for Ulfar. He's, you know, obviously he's looking for his brothers. He's trying to you know, regain his honor that way. The Rogue Trader kind of fucks it up, and essentially he goes completely feral, and it's like the Wolfen curse type thing starts to come through, and he just goes fully feral, animalistic. It's all growling and things like that. So yeah, he those were my favorite lines to do, where he's like, you know, what was it? Stay your tongue or I will rip it out! Stuff, you know, just really aggressive things.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of, like, things that people might not have necessarily been aware of, per se, is there anything that you wish people were aware of more about Ulfan's character from your experience of voice acting him, or?
Yes, actually. So in the beginning, he got passed over quite a bit by people in the very beginning, because they just saw him as this big, dumb, idiot brute that just wants to fight and eat things. And, like, that was the main issue with people not picking up that character. They weren't understanding that your first interaction with him, he is testing the player. Like, he is not giving anything away. He's sitting there eating the corpse of an alien. So he's because you find him in, like, the fighting pits, and he's in a cage, and he is playing dumb to try and see whether or not you are going to try and use him, try to trick him, do whatever. But he's a tactician. He's actually just playing the player. And a lot of people didn't give him enough credit for that. And they just went, he's a big dumb idiot wolf man that likes to fight things. It's like, no, he's actually testing you. And you failed because you didn't see that.
Yeah.
And, like, it was whenever I first got cast, we did the recordings. All the game was I think it was about a month before the game was released. We were given permission. The voice actors were given permission to join the Oilcat community Discord
Mm.
and just introduce ourselves to the community and everything. And so I joined, and I was waiting until there was a discussion about Ulfar, because I wasn't just going to come in and go, "I'm here now."
Yeah.
You know, the conversation's about me. Bow down, I am Ulfar. But it took about 3 weeks before they started talking about Ulfar. So I was there for a while, and the conversation was so like bad. Like they were just dragging him down, and I came into the chat and was like, "Ooh, not a lot of love for Ulfar then, guys, huh?" And the first person to reply to me went, "Oh, his voice! So annoying!" Oh, okay. Well, well, why is that? It's like, it sounds like he's doing a pirate impression. I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, hi everyone. I'm the voice actor for Ulfar. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Oh, it was such. Do you know what? I will hold that in my heart to the day I die, because the whole Discord just started freaking out. Oh,
That's so funny.
but yeah.
That's so incredibly funny. Oh, I love that. If you could play any character from the sort of Warhammer universe, I know this is a very like loaded question because there's so many good characters. Which character do you think you'd naturally be drawn towards from a voice acting perspective?
So I am primarily a vocal stunt performer.
Mhm.
So I do creature voices mainly, or voices like Ulfar, which would be considered to be strenuous.
Yes.
Because you're using all of everything down here, and it's quite it's like Mongolian throat singing almost. But if there was something in the Warhammer universe, it wouldn't even need to be a named character. It would just have to be an orc.
Yes.
Because like, yes, I am trans. You know, I'm always going to be one of the boys, huh?
I just love the way that you can like slip in and out of characters so easily, Dave, like and segment them so easily. Like my husband always says that I'm terrible at accents and things like that. So when I was discussing this with you, it was like, oh, maybe you can pick up a few things and make your accents and impressions better. So the way
You're
that
just
you
going
are
to come
able
out
to...
talking like an orc
Yeah.
after this. That's it.
Well, I'm from Essex, and quite a lot of the men in Essex speak that way anyway. So,
Oh no.
but yes, we were sort of talking about your love for orcs and nids at the start of the start of the episode. Sorry. So, like in terms of Tyranids and things like that, would you ever want to voice a Tyranid or anything like
Well,
that?
sure. I voiced the Gene Stealer cultists.
Yeah.
But if I could, yes, I would absolutely do creature voices for them. Just, you know, it's because it is generally just hisses and squeals and things. Oh, stuff like that. Or like, you know, the shriekers that fly around. So like, would be amazing to be able to do.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Blow out your eardrums.
So we sort of spoke before the start of starting this recording off about the fact that you have the big pile of shame and things like that, but you're mostly attracted to 40k because of the lore. So what was some of the lore that drew you in the first place?
It was definitely the Tyranids.
Yeah.
Like from a lore perspective, it's definitely the Tyranids. Any sort of story where it's not about like space marines fighting Tyranids, it's not about, you know, them taking over entire worlds. It's about a very small pocket of humanity or whoever it might be facing them off. Like there's one where I can't remember what type of ship it is, but it gets swallowed by a hive ship. And which is, you know, it's a living ship.
Yeah.
And like it's inside it, and it's just these people realizing that this is the end.
Mm.
And like they're coming to terms. Well, they don't really come to terms with it. They don't really have time to come to terms with it. But during this pivotal scene where they are discussing what's about to happen, the roof collapses in because of the stomach acid and like lands on top of the captain and like just melts him. He's just gone.
Yeah.
And then in the stomach acid, there's like little parasites coming around, and like they start to eat the crew. One of the crew just, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, that sort of, as I was saying, eldritch horror, that's sort of the, not just the fear of the unknown, but the fear of something that is much bigger than you that
Yeah.
doesn't care. It just doesn't care. And that's what drew me in with the Tyranids, because, yeah, like, I think a lot of people argue that they're the only ones that are technically not evil in
Yeah.
the Warhammer universe, because,
They can't be
their
reasoned
whole,
with. Yeah, they're just hungry.
it's not, yeah, exactly. It's like they're not there. They're not trying to get land for or space or materials or whatever. They're just consuming and going on and consuming and going on. So like they're just living their nature. But
Mm.
then again, we don't know that much about what hive mind thing
Mm.
is controlling them. So, but that's what drew me in. Just the eldritch horror behind it. There was another one that was was it something in the rain? The Watcher in the Rain was quite good. And there was another one where, who are the Space Marines who are technically from the warp? They got trapped in the warp. They are still on the side of the Imperium, and they appear every now and then. They're like flaming Space Marines.
That's a good question. I cannot answer that. I'm not going to
Oh, it's
lie.
gonna.
My knowledge of Space Marines is not as good as it should be, but I'm sure we'll work it out, and I'll put a caption in the base.
Aye.
But yeah.
There's a story regarding one of those being sort of studied by the Inquisition,
Mm.
and the end of that book just turns into like a full, for the glory of the Emperor style fight between a load of followers of Nurgle and this one person who like sides up with the Space Marine, and they just start getting wrecked. But the one character that escapes from that is regaling the story to his rescuers, because he goes down to a planet and is, to escape this ship that's like this prison ship that this whole thing was happening on. And then again, the eldritch horror comes out of it, the just the hopelessness and everything, because it turns out, hey, he's actually just crazy. He's sitting there on his own, and there's no kelp coming, there's no food, there's no water. He's just going to die. And it's like every single story, or almost every single story, ends like that, where it's just, yay, yay, hope, hope, hope. Nope. Oh, everything is terrible forever. Amazing. Thank you so much.
I do love the fact that 40k has this way of pulling you in, and then it's that age-old thing of who's the good guy in 40k. There is no good and there is bad. Everyone's just fundamentally grey, and actually for such a neurodiverse community, we seem to understand that the best. And
Yeah.
I completely agree with you, that eldritch horror aspect of everything is bigger than you, but you really get pulled into these individual characters who in the end are kind of insignificant because they're so
Uh-huh.
disposable, and then it makes you think about your own humanity. Like, I obviously play Elder, or Eldari as they're known now, and they're this huge dying race, and they're constantly faced with their mortality, and every time I play them I'm like, oh, that's another one wiped that's never going to reappear because they're this dying race. And you kind of think about it in terms of like us as a species on this planet and the things that we do to one another, and it is very like eldritch horror-esque of, oh, the far distant grim dark is not so far and not so distant in any way, shape or form. So,
Very much so, yeah.
so yeah. Was there anything in particular from Rogue Trader that was taken out that you particularly enjoyed that you wish had been kept in?
So there was one controversial line that has come up constantly whenever the discourse surrounding there being female space marines or anything being canon or whatever it might be, and it's the line from Ulfar that states that the gene seed that was manufactured from the Allfather, which is the Emperor, was not designed for the female body, and therefore the augmentations and things wouldn't work. And it always comes up. Now, written down, yeah, it does look pretty damning. It's a pretty horrible statement. But spoken, the way that we recorded it was not so harsh and damning. The direction that we took for it was more along the lines of like an awkward dad giving the talk. So it's whenever a female rogue trader says, "Would I be able to become a space marine?" And Ulfar sort of goes, "Oh no, no! The gene seed was made for the All Father, and therefore was not made for the human body or the female human body, and you would not be able to take the augmentations. Besides, you are too old." So it's very much a I don't want to be here talking about this. Please stop talking and just leave me alone. It was very awkward, but every single time this discourse, that line gets brought up. And I just find it funny that I am the space marine that said there can't be female space marines. Like, as Ulfar, you might want to go back and recheck that one, mate. Sorry. I've ruined that for you now.
It is very much giving the dad blood in the pamphlet across the table aspect to it, isn't it? Yeah. I love that. And obviously, like Games Workshop back in the 80s, there's posters where they had female space marines and things like that. So it's even canonically at one point they had female space marines, but it's just particularly like the female custodies stuff recently, it always makes me laugh. But
there have always been female custodies.
Exactly. And people forget. I don't know if you know this, Liv, but Games Workshop, they make the lore up as they go along. Like this was this is a revelation to so many people in the hobby. Like they didn't realize that it's people sat in a creative space making up lore as they go along, and people just get so defensive over it as well. So
the lore is so vast as well, and like there's canon cat girls. Come on.
Exactly.
Like, of course there's female space marines. Shut up. Stop arguing. Just paint your miniatures and be happy. All right?
Paint your miniatures pink and be fine with it.
Yes. More pink miniatures, please.
Exactly. I'm really lucky that I'm speaking to a couple of girls who specialise in like the girly pop style. And I've had some really like fascinating conversations with them about like the perception of painting miniatures pink and stuff. So speaking to you about sort of the Ulfar conversation is entertaining to me, and it's very much in line with that. So
yeah, it's a great hobby. So many people enjoy it. Why the fuck are you gatekeeping it? Just let people have fun.
Exactly. Exactly.
And like, nobody wins in a fandom or a group scenario where one person or a group of people are going, "No, my precious thing that I thought was the case. Oh no, I have to keep it this way. I have to keep it pure." No, just fucking let people enjoy things.
Exactly.
Yeah, like fandoms and like fan fiction and stuff for other fandoms and things. People love diving into that. So if something isn't canon, if you see somebody painting a miniature, all the colors of the rainbow, or they're painting, the whoever, they're painting the Dark Angels blue, or they're painting whoever it might be a different color, and you don't like that, grow up.
Yeah, exactly.
Grow up. Let people enjoy things.
It's a hobby at the end of the day, and like your work brings people so much enjoyment, because I can guarantee there will be people like watching this who are really familiar with your characters from Rogue Trader and just going, "Yep, I loved that game. That's one of my favorite games. Can sit and play it all day." And their perception of who Ulfar is in reality versus who you are in reality, like you're complete polar opposites, and that's the beautiful juxtaposition of the work that you've done. So
funnily enough, we did shortly after the game came out, we were invited onto Cormac's stream for doing like a D&D style Rogue Trader game, and this was before I transitioned, and I basically looked exactly like Ulfar. I had the big beard and everything. I had it all like plaited. I was drinking from a drinking horn as well. I just went fully into the character, and then like a year later, oh, guess what? Turns out there are female space marines after all.
I love that so much. Okay, so just to wrap our conversation up, and thank you. I've had so much fun speaking to you today. If there's one thing that you could pass on to other women in the hobby, whether that be a piece of advice or a skill you love, what would that be?
I think just harping back onto what we were just talking about there, enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think we have so many spaces at the minute that are being gate kept that it makes no sense. It makes absolutely zero sense. And to the people that are gatekeeping, if you enjoy something that much, like, that's totally fine. You can be the best that person that plays Call of Duty. You can be the best person that paints in Warhammer. You can be the best one that does, the tabletop and wins all your matches, or, creates the lore that some of the matches actually go into. You can do that, but you can also applaud the people who are coming in and enjoying your hobby. And as let's think logically here. If those people stop coming in, the hobby dies.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to sustain the hobby on your own. So, like, having these people come in, having these new people come in, and, like, just enjoying the space and enjoying the community, enjoying the lore, enjoying the people like yourself, just, like, let them come in. And then to those people, just join those communities. Like, be a part of those spaces. You're absolutely welcome to come into those spaces. These hobbies and things are for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're just painting, or if you're doing the tabletop, or if you're doing the video games, or if you're just reading the lore, or if you just binge watch YouTube videos on them. It's completely fine. You're still part of the community. You can still enjoy it.
100%.
Yeah. There's no room for gatekeeping in anything. And I would just say, just enjoy it.
Definitely. Yeah. That's great advice. That's wonderful advice, and advice that people should 100% take on board. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Liv. I will make sure to post your socials below so that people can come and find you. Do you have anyone in particular that you want to give a shout out to now that we're at the end of the episode?
Like I did at the beginning of the episode, TJ Anthony. If you look him up, Sydak, I believe is his handle online. But yeah, TJ Anthony is the one that does, like, all the "I see boys of green, red cockatoo, I see him down from the new." He's the one who sings all those songs, and he is incredible. Please go give TJ some love.
Yes.
Like, I have so much time for TJ. He's such a lovely man, and he is Warhammer mad. And he's such a joy to be around. So please go watch his YouTube videos, comment under them, parody them if you can. I did one. I did my own one. I did the song "Get Ready to Die," or "Ready to Die" by Andrew WK. I did a "Ready to Wah."
That's so funny.
So yeah, and he's coming up with more songs, and I will be a part of those songs as well. So We're looking forward to that.
We will definitely keep an eye out for that. So yeah, I'll link TJ Anthony's socials below as well. People watch.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This has been an absolute blast. But yeah, thank you, and speak to you soon. Bye.
Speak to you soon. Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Women in Wargaming series, and thank you to all of my guests who have appeared this series. If you've enjoyed what you've watched, please consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel and following me on Instagram at ElderExarch.